Hi guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. In today's pick a card reading, we will find out what is the first impression that you leave on others. So for the first group, I have this little grey stone. Then this slightly bigger brown stone for group 2. And then this little yellow and white stone for group 3. So feel free to pause the video over here, meditate on all your options, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the comment section as well as in the description box below. So make your choice and let's get started. Hi group 1, so for those of you who chose this grey stone, first let's take a look at your oracle cards to find out what is the first impression that you make on others. So the cards that came out for you are Exorcist, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. Then we have Bat, see through illusion into truth, Yang, and Simplicity. Oh, I just saw 111. Maybe you guys keep seeing 111 as well. The first impression that you make on others, it just exudes a lot of power. Someone who's so sure of themselves, someone who's very confident of who they are, someone who has this gravitas, I think it's called. Someone who, when they walk into the room, it's like all eyes on them by default. People cannot help but notice you. People cannot help but, like turn around to get a better glimpse of you whenever you strut all that nice stuff that you bring to yourself into the room. Something about your face, it really pulls people because there is this calm on your face, but it also has this vibe of like this all-knowing vibe. Your facial structure, the way that you fold your arms when you're standing, your posture, the way that your feet are when you're standing. It's as if someone is talking to some, like some really classy world leader or something. That's the vibe. That's the first impression that you make on others. Someone who cannot be tricked, someone who cannot be fooled because they're so intelligent, they're so wise that they won't fall for petty shit, they won't fall for mind games. I'm getting this very clear image of you bumping into someone, perhaps for the first time in some gathering, and they're trying to hold this conversation with you, but they're trying to act all cocky, and you have this slight smirk on your face because you just know that they're bluffing. And as soon as that smirk appears on your face, they know that their charade is over, that their game is over. And so they come up with some of the other random excuse and they leave the conversation, they avoid you for the rest of the evening then. So it's like that. Your gaze is very piercing. In fact, when you meet someone for the first time, people don't find it very easy to hold or establish an eye contact with you. They either start blushing for absolutely no reason, even if you're discussing politics with them. They won't be able to maintain an eye contact with you. Like I said, they'll either get that flush on their cheeks or they'll start looking here and there because it's very intimidating. Your outward personality or the first impression that you make, it's very intimidating. And the reason why there is this undertone of power to it is because of the simplicity factor. And when I see simplicity in your context, it screams effortless. This attitude of yours, this personality of yours, this aura of yours, this gravitational pull that you have, it seems very effortless in the first impression. So people look at you and they're like, how does group 1 do this? How do they manage to make heads turn? How do they manage to be in control of the conversation? How do they manage to be like the center of attention? It just seems so effortless. It's like they're not even trying, but all of it is happening for them. And then, of course, with this very powerful yang energy over here, firstly, when I see this sort of like fireball, the way that you look, the way that you dress, most of the people, they feel this sort of like spark, or you can say sexual attraction towards you when they see you, which is why oftentimes you might have noticed people who look at you, then they turn away, and then they look at you again, because it's like they just cannot get enough, because they're feeling that pull towards you, that sexual attraction towards you. So that is there for sure. In addition to it, this fiery passion. And you know how there are some people who kind of like have this model-like face with this very blank, straight expression. But I mean, you can't help but appreciate that nature's work of art. Unless and until, of course, it's artificial, and that's another thing. But, and somewhere, I mean, I cannot not see this jawline over here and these cheekbones. So I definitely feel like when people look at you, they think that you're like this work of art, as if the universe has really taken their time to create you, all the fine details and everything. And you do create a lasting impression on people. It's almost as if your memories, your scent, your words, your face, it keeps on lingering in people's minds long after you've gone. Especially people whom you meet for the first and the last time, let's say like at a bus stop or wherever. Even after you've gotten up, even after you've left, you still linger in their energy. Because even after you're gone, people tend to think about you for a very long time. Wow. Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot cards. We have the 5 of Wands, Strength, 6 of Cups, and the 10 of Wands. So with the 10 of Wands and Strength over here, definitely people who meet you for the first time think that you're someone important. It is possible, just for an example's sake, let's say that you are going with your company to attend some conference, all right? Your bosses are there, your managers are there, everyone is there. But people from rival companies who are perhaps interacting with your group for the first time, they might feel like you're the boss, they might feel like you're the team lead, like you're the manager, even though perhaps you're not, because you give off that important person with a lot of responsibilities, the person, like who can be seen giving commands and telling everybody what to do, those vibes. So the first impression then naturally moves towards, okay, this seems to be someone who's like important, they seem to be knowing their shit, they seem to be in control of everybody else around them, they're not going to anyone to talk, people are coming to them to talk to them, so definitely they must be, like some big shot, someone important, like that. This very, there is this celebrity-ish aspect to you, Group 1, whether or not you're aware of it. And I feel like over here with 6 of Cups, people, even in that first impression, they know that there has to be more to you than just this. There has to be more to you than just these power vibes and seriousness and that model-like face and that intimidating gaze and everything else. And there are many people who can see you interacting with perhaps your family members or your friends or relatives or just in general people whom you know. And they notice that your demeanor around your known people is very different because you seem to be very carefree, you're laughing, you're cracking jokes. There is that straight model-like face has gone now. You've broken out into a smile and everything else. And so these first-timers around you, they're like, when do we get to see this side? When do we get to be this close to Group 1 that they can reveal this side of theirs to us? So in the first impression itself, it's obvious that there is a softer personality that you keep contained, and you give, you give limited access to it. It's kind of like a private access. So not everybody gets to see that side of you, even though everybody wants to see that side of you. Somewhere with the 5 of Wands over here in Strength, especially considering the fact that, like I pointed out, that your gaze can be a bit intimidating, and then that smirk that tends to come on your face at times when people are playing mind games with you and shit. And just in general, along with that, the whole vibe that you carry. People think twice before contradicting you. So usually, if you go to a new place, whatever it might be, even if it is a book club, and you start a discussion, you might have noticed, and you might have not liked it, because you seem to be the kind of person who enjoys some, like some debates. It keeps your mind active. But unfortunately for you, what happens is that people tend to agree with you a lot. And beyond a point, it becomes irritating for you. Like, why are you just simply going on agreeing with me? I want to know what your point of view is. But people are afraid to present their points of view in front of you, because they feel like, okay, this seems to be someone powerful, and I don't want to, get in their bad books. I do not want to leave a bad impression on this person, because what if they seem to be important, so what if they can be of help to me? What if they have the ability to, like, destroy my career or whatever? So I don't want to mess with this person. I'll just keep on agreeing with whatever they're saying. This is not someone that I want to fight with. So like that, very, like, you're in charge kind of a first impression is what I'm getting. You might be having Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio in your charts. All right, group 1. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Oh, and by the way, this is just like people's first impression of you. And what someone else thinks of you might or might not be true. And what someone else thinks of you, again, is their problem. It's not yours. So you can just continue being your amazing self. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi, group 2. So if you guys chose this brown stone, let's take a look at your oracle cards to find out what is people's first impression of you. But before that, a little disclaimer. Firstly, what others think of you or what their perception is of you is always their problem. It's not yours, so you can continue being however you are. And secondly, how someone perceives you might or might not be actually your true self. Okay, so with that in mind, let's get into it. So the cards that came out for you, she looks so sweet. We have Lover over here that says great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Then we have Guinea Pig, do your part to illuminate the universe, Observer, and Delight. Lovely. This is just, I cannot take my eyes off of her. Your first impression is always, it's just so good. People instantly get drawn to you. It's like they want to get to know you better. It's like they immediately want to become friends with you, because you have such a charming and such a sweet personality. They can see you having that smile on your face. They can see that twinkle in your eyes. They can see you having fun. They can see you basically lighting up the room, wherever you go. It's like you bring that happiness and that sunshine with you wherever you go. Also, people see you spreading smiles as well. So people can notice that you're standing in a group and you're the one talking and everybody else around you is laughing. So you're clearly, like the joker or the clown in the group, and you're ensuring that everybody else is having fun. You are one of those people who, in their first impressions, come across as someone who's brimming with life, with joy, with happiness, with excitement. And all of this is contagious. Even in the first meeting, when someone strikes up a conversation with you, they cannot help but smile along to your stories, laugh with you. Nobody laughs at you, that's different. People laugh with you. They think that you're very, very curious. You're going to different people. You're striking up different sorts of conversations. You're not the kind of person who's always only, someone who's just grabbed one corner in a room and just interacting with a limited 2-3 people, and then that's it. You're the kind of person who keeps circling around, keeps, entering different mini conversation circles, and you're like, and the best part about you is that it does not take you long to befriend others. It does not take you long to break the ice, even with new people. And that is something that they appreciate about you. And I won't exactly call you like an extrovert. It's just that you're someone who's very good at people skills, perhaps. You're very skilled in that department of talking to new people, of making other people feel comfortable in your presence, making other people feel involved, feel included. So that's what they like about you. People want to get to know you on a level of, that's not just limited to friendship, but something more. So because of this delightful energy that you have, like smiling, and like I said, that twinkle in your eyes is something that I'm being told constantly. I get it. So there are people who want to date you, who want to ask you out. And this, I'm being told, throws you off a little bit, because in your mind, you're like, dude, I literally just met you. And I'd like to get to know you better, maybe through texts or phone calls before I agree to go out with you. But that happens a lot with you. In fact, whenever you're interacting with new people, someone or the other in that group or in that party or wherever else it is that you meet new people always tends to ask you out, or always tries to get your phone number, or wants to, get on your Instagram and things like that. But that's just because, like I said, such endearing vibes from you that people automatically assume that you will make a great lover, you'll make a fantastic lover. And I'm also being told that there's something very minimalistic about the way that you dress up, or about the way that you carry yourself, which also tends to attract people towards you. And I also feel like you are very big on giving hugs. Even if you're meeting new people, you don't really greet them with a hi and bye. You're always like, oh, hey, hi, how are you? And then you introduce yourself. So you're always giving out hugs. And that is also something that people not only notice about you, but they also like about you. And then, of course, in this mix, when there are those people who want to date you, they're like, oh, so I just want to make group 2 the little spoon. I can already envision that. I can already imagine that, which of course might sound creepy for you, because you're like I said, like you've literally just met that person. But that's that. And again, with observer over here, there is this curiosity to you. Firstly, you cannot stay put in one place. So people can always see you hopping from one group to the next, like I said. And the best part is that wherever you go throughout the evening or whatever time it is, your energy just does not seem to fade away. It's like your body does not have blood, it has Gatorade in it, or something like that, like some energy drink. That's how amazing it is. You instantly become the center of attraction wherever you go. Something about your laughter, it has this really nice ring to it. People might have complimented you for your laughter too. And trust me, not all laughters are good, okay? I'm all for people who laugh with their heart out, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Not you though, because in your case, your laughter, like I said, has this very pleasant ring to it. People remember it. People compliment you for your eyes. People compliment you for your laughter. People compliment you for your smile. People compliment you for your sense of humor too. And I'm also being told that you're very witty. You come up with very quick responses, or very nice, sarcastic, funny one-liners. So that's another thing that people like about you. And for those of you who are not very tall, whether you're a masculine or whether you're a feminine, especially though if you're a feminine, and if you're not very tall, automatically that extra element of cuteness gets added to you. And after you've left, people are like, who's that? Who is like that little bundle of joy that was just hopping around from place to place? All right, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. So we have the 9 of Pentacles, Judgment, Queen of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, a lot of people, when they meet you for the first time, they tell you that they feel as if they know you already, even though they legit are meeting you for the first time. And I feel like it's because of how welcoming you are as a person when you're interacting with new people, that automatically that warmth or that familiarity gets established. And I think because of that, people feel like they know you from somewhere, or like they've met you before. Because there is that instant bond that gets created. like I said, like you're very good at breaking the ice. So that is what this is. In the first impression, people also feel like you're someone who's very content, very happy of who they are, very proud of who they are, very sure of who they are. And this independence, this charisma that you carry, people find it very, very attractive. A lot of people might have seen you comforting others around you. So they get the sense that, okay, group 2 seems to be someone who's very caring, someone who's always very concerned about other people. Oh, did you have your food? Did you get something to drink? Stuff like that. Even though it's not your party, even though you're not the host, that hospitality is always there in you. Also, many a times you have found random strangers, whether at a bus stop or sitting next to you on a train or wherever, and if they seem sad, you strike up a conversation with them because you just cannot stand long faces in front of you. And what you don't realize is that through your conversations, through your storytelling or whatever else it is, you make those people happy. You put a smile on their faces, and even after you're long gone, people remember that about you. Like how you uplifted their mood. So this quality of yours to make a sad person start laughing is another thing that comes off very strongly in your first impression. And lastly, over here with the Queen of Pentacles, and this again ties beautifully with the energy of the Nine of Pentacles over here, everybody wants you, but not everybody can have you, and not everybody can get you. And this becomes very clear the moment people try to flirt with you, and that happens. See, the problem with a lot of people is that if you're being nice to them, if you're being kind to them, they automatically assume that you're interested in them, that you want to sleep with them, that you want to have fun with them. Even though, like I said, in your case, group 2, you're literally just being nice. And so what happens is that when you're laughing and smiling and talking to someone nicely, and the next thing is like, so do you want to get out of here, or do you want to get you know what I mean? And you pop that bubble right there, right then, and you're like, no thanks. So this is also something that becomes very evident in your first impression, that okay, just because group 2 seems to be smiling and laughing and interacting with everybody, that does not mean that they are available for everybody. That is not who they are. They're a nice person, which is why they're being nice to everyone, but they're not like handing out free tickets and giving like free access to them. That's reserved. That's only for that might be for special people. Or maybe, like I said, and I think I said this in the beginning, you're not like an extrovert. It's just that you're very good at talking to new people, but internally you might be the kind of person who likes to keep their circle small, who wants to be very mindful of the people that they go out with or date. So that's just who you are. Or I mean, that is the first impression that you give. You might be having Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in your charts, because that has come out very strongly 3 times over your group 2. Of course, that does not have to apply for all of you. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now, group 2. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. You can also follow me on Instagram for more tarot readings and message me there, or on my email ID to book a personal reading with me. You'll find all those details in the pinned comment and description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi group 3, so for those of you who chose the yellow stone, let's take a look at your oracle cards to find out what is the first impression that you make on others. But before that, a little disclaimer, what somebody else thinks of you might or might not be how you actually are. Okay, so with that, let's get right into it. So the first card that came out for you is Prostitute, that says, accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Then we have Goat, act from your innate wisdom, Loyal Heart, and Purity. A lot of you might have been attracted towards group 1 as well, or you can check that out if you feel like it. Okay, group 3. You give off the vibe in the first impression that you know who you are and you know what you're talking about. You come across as someone who is seemingly very, very important, like the GOAT, like the MVP. That's the kind of vibe that you carry with yourself. it's very clear in your demeanor, and I mean, that's just what people think, that there seems to be a duality in you. While on the one hand, there is that sharpness to you, wherein you don't really interact with a lot of people. Now, some people, of course, might assume in the first impression that you're a bit snooty or that you have a bit of an attitude problem. But then on the flip side, they can also see you interacting very well, in fact, with the people that you're familiar with. So this just tells us that, I mean, the first impression that comes because of it is that you're someone who has very clear boundaries set in place, that I only want to interact with the particular kind of people whom I feel like would be a good match for me, intellect-wise, wavelength-wise, vibes-wise. That is the person that I'll be talking to, otherwise not. And again, maybe that isn't how you are. Maybe you're just someone who's very shy, or maybe you're an introvert. Maybe you're someone who hesitates in initiating conversations. But because of that, this is the first impression that comes off. People get this kind of like this lone wolf vibe from you. Usually they can see you standing all by yourself, but there is no restlessness in your energy. It's not that you're standing by yourself and you're looking here and there, or you're tapping your foot, or shaking your knee. There's a lot of calmness in your energy, and people cannot help but get attracted towards it. I'm being told, like, weirdly attracted towards it. There are a lot of people who, because of this enigma, they do try to come and strike conversations with you. I don't think a lot of them are able to handle that very well or execute that idea very well. I'm also being told that, and especially if you are the kind of person who tends to meet new people more because of your profession and less because of your personal life, like parties or whatever, there are people who come to you and who try to either poach you from your current company, or people who try to offer you money in return of your services, like, oh, I've heard you're a very good designer and I'm willing to pay you this hefty amount if you can come and work for me, and things like that. But the thing about you is that, firstly, you know what your worth is, you know what your value is, and you're also not the kind of person who shies away from saying no. And sometimes people are like, okay, that was harsh, that was a bit blunt. But no, you are just basically saving your time as well as their time. I feel like your way of thinking possibly is that it's better that I say no now instead of keeping them stuck or hung up on me and hung up on this offer, and then I'll say no 2-3 weeks later. And they could have easily sourced someone else in that duration, and I could have easily backed some project in that duration. So you talk business, okay? You talk what you mean. You're not the kind of person who wastes time. So there is this like boss babe vibe that I'm getting very strongly from you. When people look at you, the first impression that they get is like, okay, that is how I want to be. That is how I want to look. That is how I want to carry myself. People automatically start experiencing this inferiority that suddenly it catches them off guard, when they're talking to you. Even the most wealthy, influential person, if they're talking to you, and because of how confident you are about yourself, and like I said, the way that you carry yourself, and that reserved nature that you have, like that little bit of reserved nature that you have, people are like, okay, just it's envy. You tend to attract that envy and hate. Okay, too many messages. It's like they look at you, they get jealous, but at the same time they want to be like you. So that is the energy over here. With loyal heart, it's very clear that people don't see you talking to a lot of new people. They see you talking to or interacting with very like a limited number of people. And I think that is also something that, okay, someone's screaming. Okay, so like I was saying, people notice you talking to a very limited number of people, and they're like, "Oh, I want to be a part of that club. I want to be a part of that group 3 is talking to. I want to be a part of that conversation. That way, maybe I'll get a chance to get to know them better, get to talk to them one-on-one." Something about your eyes also stands out a lot, and it makes a lasting impression on people. Maybe your eye color is very unusual for as compared to the kind of eye color that the rest of the people in your geographic area or your community have. For a lot of you, of course, it can be a very novel shade of blue or green, so that really stands out. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. I'm also being told that even though you give off all like these boss babe vibes, there is this innocence to you. There is this sense of humbleness to you or groundedness to you that people tend to notice. Okay, so from your tarot cards, we have the King of Pentacles, Two of Swords, the Emperor, and the Tower. The first impression that you make on people with the Tower over here, people feel like you're someone who, like, you never know what to expect from this person. Someone who's full of surprises, someone who you might go to expecting that their answer will be a yes, but they'll turn you down like this. It's kind of like that. Someone who's sitting in their power, someone who's very sure of themselves, someone who cannot be rattled easily. There might have been many people around you who, especially during that whole first impressions thing, might try to crack lame jokes around you or pull your leg and shit like that, just so that, you know, you give one awkward laugh and start interacting with them. But you don't fall for that. And they end up making a fool out of themselves whenever they try all these stupid mind games with you. With the Two of Swords over here and the King of Pentacles, I mean, the fact that it's sandwiched between the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. Another thing during those first impressions that people notice about you is how quick you are with your responses. Whether it is a good response or whether you're turning someone down, it's always very quick. It's like you don't need time to think about what it is that you want or even who it is that you want. You might go out to a club with a few people, and the way that you behave, people might be like, does group 3 think that this is some speed dating event? With the swiftness with which they're turning down people, I'm not gonna go with you, I'm not gonna go with you. But what they don't realize is that with the King of Pentacles over here and the Emperor, and especially because I have Loyal Heart over here in the Tower, you might be someone who comes from a particular past or a particular history wherein you invested your time and energy in the wrong people. And not just romantically, otherwise also maybe friendships also. So now you're just very mindful of who you invest in, whether it is a friendship, whether it is a career opportunity, whether it is something romantic. You just do not want to take any risks anymore. You just do not want to take the wrong chances anymore. And that is why, and somewhere over here with the Emperor, it's like you are a very good judge of character, and that is something that people can tell in the first impressions itself. So when they talk to you and you seem to lose interest or you start looking here and there, they're like, okay, so apparently I did not pass the test, or maybe group 3 thinks that I do not really align with their wavelength. Fine. A lot of people, you would have noticed that during the first impressions, they come towards you, they try to chat you up, but when you do not respond in a similar manner, they take offense. You know, they take offense, they start rolling their eyes at you, suddenly they become very mean, whereas you were just being yourself. And that's just how you are. You don't really entertain people for the heck of it. And that's okay. That's fine. You are someone who's very straightforward, and there is nothing wrong with it. But like I said, with the Tower over here and then Goat, it can rub off people. And like I said, you know, they can think that you're someone who has a lot of like that snootiness here and there. But like I said in the beginning of the reading, what someone else thinks of you is always their problem. It isn't yours. Okay, you might be having Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in your charts, or Aries, group 3. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know it down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here and hit the bell icon when you do so. You can also follow me on Instagram for more tarot readings and message me there or on my email ID to book a personal reading with me. You'll find all those details in the pinned comment and description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.